Hey there guys, it's Tina and I'm back. And I hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe. I pulled out a fall look today, like get into this cranberry vibe. Like I am feeling it. I don't mind fall as far as the makeup goes and the colors. It's just the cold weather. I'm not here for it. But that's not what we're talking about today. You guys already know what we're discussing. We're going to dive into the new Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette Volume 3 that was recently released with their holiday collection, but I do believe this is a permanent product, and I'd be very insulted if it's not. It is in the same packaging as their permanent line, so I would assume that this is a permanent item and it wouldn't make sense for this to be limited edition at all, unless they want us to go over there and slap some sense into them. I'm just saying, okay? Now, I did a review video earlier this year with their Volume 2 version of this palette, and that was an epic disaster. I will link it over here in case you're curious and you want to check it out. So with Volume 2, they did promo images and a video featuring a model that had deeper complexion. She actually seems like she has deeper complexion than me. So I was very intrigued. I was pulled in. I was like, all right, here we go. They're finally listening to us and creating products for deeper, richer skin tones. And spoiler alert, I was extremely disappointed when I received that palette in the mail and I realized that all three of the shades are from their current lineup or they were repeated from limited edition collections, and they didn't work for deeper, richer skin tones. I consider myself medium deep, like a deep tan, but it was too light and honestly a little bit ashy, and I was fed up and pissed off, and I'd completely written Hourglass off. And then they released this new one, Volume 3, which is a deeper, richer version about 8 months later. And I feel like this was just in response to the backlash that they received. But I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and test it out because I did Volume 2. It makes sense for me to do Volume 3, and we're gonna do exactly that in this video. I'm gonna leave timestamps down below as usual because we're going to go through the product details. I'm gonna show you the product up close and personal, go through the packaging as well as the swatches. We'll talk about the ingredient details, and then I will go ahead and do a demonstration followed up by my final thoughts. So without much further ado, how about we go ahead and take a look at the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette Volume 3. So again, this is the Ambient Lighting Palette Volume 3 from Hourglass. It retails for $64, and each of the shades contains a net weight of 0.10 ounce or 3 grams. So you're getting a total weight of 0.3 ounce or 9 grams of product in this palette. This product is made in Italy and has an intended usage life of 12 months. On the Hourglass website, it says, the newest edition of the Radiance-Enhancing palette features 3 brand new shades of ambient lighting powder, 2 finishing powders, and 1 strobe highlighter to create a seamless finish. Using Photoluminescent Technology, the powders filter surrounding light to blur imperfections and refine skin's appearance for a radiant multidimensional glow. Each of the shades can be applied individually or layered for a customized finish. It's ideal for medium deep to deep skin tones. And there's some features and benefits that we'll go through as well. It says powders mimic the most flattering light sources to act as an instant filter. The photoluminescent technology captures, diffuses, and softens surrounding light to redefine the skin's appearance. Multidimensional luminescence makes skin appear softer and perfectly lit. Enhance skin in any type of light, including flash photography. It's designed to be layered and the shades work together seamlessly. It also notes that the packaging is made from 100% recycled plastic so they can reduce their use of virgin plastic, and the product is vegan and cruelty-free. It's formulated without alcohol, gluten, parabens, phthalates, sulfates, talc, soy, and wax. Looking at the ingredients, we see mica and synthetic fluoroflogopite as the main ingredients, which means these shades are going to have more of a shimmer finish to them. There doesn't seem to be any talc in this ingredient list at all, but in the prismatic strobe light, we see Z-maize, which is cornstarch. We also see dimethicone included, which helps with slip, as well as silica, which is a finely milled powder that feels very silky to the touch. It also indicates isoparaffin, which is not a wax ingredient, but it is derived from petroleum. It is a mixture of mineral oils, which is also going to help with that silkiness. There's also bismuth oxychloride, which can be an irritant for some people, so just be mindful of that. The other ingredients are their fillers and binders, and of course their colorants. So this palette includes 3 brand new shades. We have the shade Eternal Light, which is a golden amber finishing powder that illuminates and enhances the complexion. In the middle, we have Transcendent Light, which is described as a warm sienna finishing powder that blurs imperfections and adds ethereal dimension. And then the shimmery shade is Prismatic Strobe Light. This is described as a rich copper metallic strobe powder that illuminates the complexion for a lit from within glow. And as I already mentioned, the packaging is standard to Hourglass. This is the packaging that they use for their existing permanent collection. It's the beautiful reflective deep brown bronze box, and it has the usual light champagne gold writing that details the sizing information, the name of the product, and on the back you have the ingredient details as well as manufacturing details and the intended usage life. The palette itself is the elongated compact that is typical for their ambient lighting palettes, and it is this deep bronze brown shade. I love their packaging. I think it's sleek. I think it's very elegant. It's just fingerprint prone, but that's fine. The Hourglass logo is on the front of the palette, and then on the back you have a dark brown label again with that muted gold lettering that details the shade names, the usage life, and manufacturing details as well. The closure is a snap fit, so it's not magnetized, and you open it up and there is a mirror in the lid, and then you have the 3 shades laid out in the palette, and they're divided, of course, so they don't flow into each other. And I think the pen sizes are decent to fit larger sized face brushes, so you won't cross mix the products, but they're not very large either. Again, it's 0.1 ounce of product or 3 grams each, which is not a ton of product. And the price point is a bit steep, but it matches up with what you expect from Hourglass as a higher end brand. I do think the packaging is beautifully done as usual with their other packaging. I'm gonna go ahead and apply this product just the way the model did in the promotional video, because hey, we're testing it out the way it's intended to be used. So there are 2 finishing powders in this palette. The first shade, Eternal Light, is meant as a finishing blurring powder that you can apply under the eyes, on your T-zone, so in your forehead and on your chin, just to blur lines and give a soft focus effect. So we're gonna go ahead and grab that powder. It looks a little bit dark in the pan, I'm not gonna lie. It looks like it might be a little bit too dark for my skin. And I'll apply this under the eyes using a soft brush just to sweep it on the skin. And it's not picking up as too dark on my skin because with these Hourglass powders, they're very finely milled. So they're meant to give a blur to the skin rather than color. So ooh, it's actually given a little bit of sheen, which I am not, ooh, I don't like that. Do you see what's happening here? I don't love that. So I'm gonna back off a bit. I'm using the one that's meant as a finishing powder. I'm gonna put a little bit on my chin. Yeah, it definitely has a sheen and shine to it. So maybe don't apply this to the under eye area. It is definitely shimmery, so ooh, if you have pores, I don't know why they're recommending that you apply this powder under the eyes and in your pores, because it is accentuating all my sins. Oh my god. So I have pores right here. Do you see that? That is accentuating every evil that I've ever done in my life. Look at that. That looks so bad. On this side, I didn't get as close to my pores, so it looks fine. But I wouldn't recommend using this in areas. That looks bad. Even in my forehead, like right here. Do you see the texture? That texture wasn't there before, and now it's like, hi, I'm here. Thank you so much. I don't need that. I don't need that kind of negativity in my life. Okay, not loving that. As a highlighter powder, it's fine, but if I'm gonna use it as a finishing powder, maybe you want to go in with like a really fluffy brush and just blend it all over your face to give a glow, but do not use a stiff, dense brush or anything. And the brush that I'm using is from Sephora. This is a squirrel hair brush, so it's not supposed to pick up a ton of product, but it looks really bad. I am not loving that right now. I'm gonna move on before I have to confess my sins. So I'm gonna grab the Transcendent Light. This is the Bronzing Contour shade, and I'm going to just tap that in the hollows of my ooh, okay. It shows up on my skin, definitely. The Volume 2 shade don't even bother. That did not show up, but that also has existing shades, and those don't work well on my skin. This is definitely given a little bit of color. It's more on the red tone side. It's not a warm like caramel shade. It doesn't really have any gray or neutral undertones either. It's more on like the ruddy side. It's given me a nice subtle bit of dimension. I don't mind that. And it's a little bit luminescent, but it's not extremely glowy. I'm gonna also apply that to my hairline area just to sculpt that out. Ooh, that is pretty. That is a pretty color on the hairline. So it's given me a bronzy effect. Not so much a sculpted effect, but definitely a bronzy glow. And with the red tone, it does look like I got a bit of sun. It does look very nice on the hairline and temple. It looks decent on the jawline as well. As you build it up, it gives a little bit more dimension. And this is a stiffer brush. This is the Jumbo Base brush from Sonia G. So it is stiffer and denser. And it is a natural hair goat blend. That is nice. That, yeah, actually, it's like a subtle but pretty sculpted effect. I like that, and the model also used it on her jawline. Well, that's essentially where they placed it on her. Probably because her skin was just a little bit too rich to have it show up as a contour on her jawline. Yeah, I can see what y'all did there. Trickery. Now let's go into the Strobe Light shade, which is Prismatic Strobe Light. That is definitely more of a highlight shade. It's a bronzy shade. I'm gonna pick it up on another natural hair brush. This is from NARS. That is pretty. That, oh yeah, this is a very subtle like bronzy gold sheen. It's on the tan side, so it's not like a champagne. It has more of a tan base and that golden sheen. That is pretty. This is my kind of highlight, like the, ooh, hoo-hoo. That's Solange. Yeah, you can definitely get some intensity from it. I'm sure if you use this damp or sprayed it down with a face spray, like a setting spray or a misting spray, that would intensify it. So if you wanted something really intense, you could get it from this powder. But for me, this is subtle enough and I like how that looks. Ooh, yes. I am definitely liking that. It's subtle. It falls in line with what I like from highlighters. So let's see if you can see it up close. Right there. That glow. It's not too deep where it's gonna look too harsh on my skin, like it will look like a contour shade. It's giving me a highlight. So this I think will look great on deeper skin. It's that perfect bronzy gold that won't translate as ashy or give a cast on the skin because it has that tan and golden base to it. That is pretty. And do you see like the sculpting shade? It's given a little bit, you see, it does look nice on the jawline and in the hollows of my cheeks, and definitely on the hairline. That is pretty. But the setting powder, Eternal Light, whew, looking really bad on my skin. I am not liking that. I can use that as a highlight shade because it's a beautiful highlighting shade, but I would never use this under my eyes. Oh, no, 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 no. I would never use this under my eyes, and I would never use it in my forehead because it is telling all my secrets from last summer, which I don't have, but still. It is giving, oh, it is giving it away, but I think that is beautiful. So let me go ahead and pop on a lip, and I'll be back to wrap up with my final thoughts. Alright guys, so I finished up my face. I applied a beautiful, rich, vampy lip, and I am loving it. I love bold lips, and bold lips for fall are my jam, and I'm feeling very fall today. I will leave the details down below for the eyeshadow that I'm wearing and of course the lip details. But that's not what this video is about. We are now wrapping up with my final thoughts on this new ambient lighting palette from Hourglass. What do you guys think? What do you think? This actually worked out pretty nicely with the contour shade or the sculpting shade and the highlight. I am really loving this highlight right now. It is really beautiful. It looks stunning on the skin, and I think it would definitely look amazing on deeper, richer skin tones. As far as the sculpting shade, it works great on me to give a very subtle bronzed look, and it's more of a sun-kissed bronze because it has a reddish ruddy undertone. It's not warm caramel at all, so it might work really well on deeper skin tones that have that redder undertone, but it's not a richly pigmented shade, so you will get a very, very subtle sculpt. I do think this is a step in the right direction. I do think it works on medium deep skin tones, but to me it's not gonna give what they are expecting it to give on deep skin tones. Medium deep, sure. Deep tan, yes, because I'm deep tan. I'm like a medium deep, and this works well on me. But a rich skin tone, the highlight is definitely gonna look beautiful, but there's no way that sculpting shade is going to really sculpt. It may give a little shading, but I don't see it doing a lot, honestly. And then the Eternal Light shade, which is meant to be that blurring powder under the eyes, don't, If you have any kind of texture, any pores, do not, okay? Don't put this there. You're gonna just, you're gonna look really bad. Like, I showed you how bad that looked up close, right? Now, using it as a highlight shade, it's very subtle. It's not gonna give you the kind of highlight that the Photoluminescent, is that what it's called? No, prismatic strobe light. It's not gonna give you, that's the technology that they use, whatever. The strobe light powder is gonna give you that bam, and you can definitely amp that up. I think it's beautiful, but this powder, I don't know what I'm gonna use it for. Maybe just to buff it all over the skin like I suggested, but it's not a under eye setting powder for me at all. Overall, step in the right direction. They can still do much better, but I am a little bit happy to see them doing something and listening to the audience, but is it a little bit too late? That is my question to you. I'm really only trying this out because I'm on YouTube, and it makes sense for me to do a follow-up since I did a video on the volume 2. It makes sense for me to test out volume 3 and see if they've improved at all, because volume 2 was just complete and utter trash. But on the other hand, as a consumer and a beauty lover, I feel like they're a little bit too late to the game, and I'm not impressed until I see a true change to their line. So when they're standalone single products, like their bronzers and their blushes and their standalone highlighters, when those deepen up, then they're speaking to me. Otherwise, this just feels like a PR stunt. It's just a way to placate the masses and kind of repair the reputation that they have, because they got called out like crazy with the last palette, especially with the way they deepened up the shades in their promo images and how they made it appear that this product works on a deeper, richer skin tone. I mean, the model was melanated and it was glorious, and I was drawn in, only to be disappointed by the shades that were included, which were just repeat shades, nothing new, nothing deep, nothing rich. And then with this one, they kind of still did the same thing, because this, look at it, right? It looks a lot richer and deeper in the promo images and the promo video. Even the model is much deeper than me. She has richer melanated skin, and they're using this on her, and I'm like, you're lying. The highlights, sure, but apart from that, like, how is this working for her? Maybe she can use them as setting powders, but maybe finishing powders, which, I mean, technically they're finishing powders, so they can get away with that, but I don't know. I am not impressed yet. I am still holding out because, again, I want to see the entire line be expanded. Not just, oh, here's your products, shut up now, we did it. You know, I don't feel like that is sufficient. So let me know what you guys think. And since I did this video and showed you how it applies on my skin, I showed you the swatches. Do you think this is something that you want to try out? Is Hourglass a brand that you want to give another chance? Let me know down below, and definitely check out different videos to see this on richer, deeper skin tones. Vicky J did her video. I think she already did her video, but she posted swatches, and it doesn't look promising, but definitely check her out. She has richer skin. I will leave her channel down below. If she posted the video, I will link the video directly so you can see it applied on her skin tone. But again, medium deep, maybe something you want to try out. I like the look of the product, but I don't know that I'm there yet, you know? But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and leave links on where you can pick this product up. Those links are gonna be affiliate links, which means I will get a small sales commission if you make a purchase through those links. Again, I will leave details on the products that I used on my eyes and on my lips. This is my collaboration palette, by the way. I know you're probably thinking, the Hummingbird palette did that fall look? Yes, it did. So I will leave the website down below for this in case you're interested. It's still available. They have tons of stock, so it's still available for purchase. And I will also leave links to my Instagram and Twitter where you can follow me along. And until my next video, which will be very soon, I'll talk to you. Bye, guys.